Hello, my name is Lowell, and if it makes you mad, my pronouns are he, him, and this is another session of Imperium Maledictum, and we're with our characters having finished off their first mission, and we're going to be talking about what happens between missions. We'll I'm going to give a little bit of like narrative frame up, kind of following up from what happened last time to before we let people loose on that. A few mechanical things. One thing that was pointed out on the sheet last time is I don't have ammo, or I didn't have ammo on the sheet. I've corrected that. You'll now see under your weapons, there is a column called mag for magazine. Some of the notes, some of the numbers are written in I think I got it on everybody. I need to do it to, I need to actually fix it over here on Mad J's. Let me get that set. Control C. Fix that there. Um, I tried to do it right. You want to test and make sure I've got your uh, things right. I'm going to overwrite yours, Cody, right now. There you go. I'll let you fill in. So you want to change your test things on there. Rich, I think yours are correct because I did yours as the baseline, and then I don't think I did other
Oh,
people's
I
test
was
numbers.
looking and I saw nothing. I don't see anything in mag for mine.
Oh, I meant the
So,
test numbers. I didn't put so before it was split, and I wanted to make sure I had to split the column. So
oh,
make
the
sure that
test numbers.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Mag, you'll have to look up. Again, mag is only really used when you do burst or rapid fire to kind of count down off things or for fumbles and things like that. So that's one thing I wanted to put in there and mention to you. Last time you got 300 XP. I have now found out the correct number of XP. It is much less than 300, but you brought 300. Uh, um, and in fact, I actually discovered that that was a thing that's in the errata update was they told you how much XP, which is interesting. The other thing that I want to mention is at this point going forward, if you wish to buy a new talent, you do need to check what the requirements of the talent are and adhere to those. Some of them require specializations. Again, a specialization is a kind of a sub skill thing. Each skill has a potential set of specialties. And now, if you hover over the skill in your character keeper, you will notice that I have put the list of the possible specialties there that you can pick from. These again, each
Very
of
nice. Good
thank you.
work. I just want to recognize that.
Each of these can get up to 3 advances. Each advance gives you plus 5%. And those can be put, I've opened up the specialization bits there. So the other thing that we're going to be doing today after I frame up something is in between missions, endeavors, as they call them, you have some downtime options, and we'll be walking through those. Normally, you get one. I'm going to give you two because then it'll feel like we're playing Forged in the Dark. So we're going to get two of those. I'll walk through those. There are a couple of them that are group actions that whoever wishes to participate in it can get like a benefit, but at least two people have to do it. And then the other ones are individual ones, making more money, doing some work on your weapon, that kind of thing. But I'll walk through those as we get to that. Um, we will take up with everyone may reset their fate back up to their maximum at this point. Uh, I mentioned that because Keith is at flat zero after last time. And if you are down wounds, you may heal back up to standard wounds. Uh, we take up, we're still on Rakarth, the planet that you were on last time. You have traveled up. Essentially, your patron, again, Von Grunt, has transported you up to one of the higher levels of this hive planet and has received the two servitor skulls that you provided to him. And he's also sat down and spoken with Og and his compatriot. And he will come back to talk to the four of you privately, away from Og and away from the servitors. And he will say, so that could have gone better, but Madfist, you disagree with me? That could not have gone better?
As far as the skulls go, I mean, by the time we hit the surface, two of them were already skull things.
I meant that in the more general sense of things, rather than assigning blame to any of you.
Oh, yes, of course, boss. Yeah, it could have gone a little better in the grand scheme of things like that. Mad Fist, he also wasn't trying to say anything by that. Of course, you know, the job could have been easier for all of us. They could have walked right into our arms. There's plenty of things that could have happened. Proceed if you want. Otherwise, we're happy to listen or go, whatever you need.
So I have enlisted some assistance to work with the servitors. The one is clearly dead, but we're going to see what we can extract from the gray matter there. The other one, we're going to see what we can do. You may extend an offer to Og as per my suggestion. I will look at that. His companion seems like she can handle herself. That Deltana woman. Any disagreement, agreement?
I can't say no. We really didn't ask her to do anything other than carry Og. So that's, you know.
She can handle him, and he needs some handling.
And that is true. He's a mess.
That is true. Greco, your thoughts? You're the one who initially recruited the two of them.
I think they're reasonably trustworthy. I'd like to get them off world, at least.
All right, I will keep that in mind. So, the nature of things is such that because I am waiting for people to assist on dealing with the skulls, we'll be here on planet for a little while longer. So you may feel free to take your leisure here. Let's say the next 10 days. That should give you enough time to do what you need to do, and then reconvene here, and we'll discuss the next step of our journey together. Does that seem reasonable to everyone? Sabian, I had the sense that there perhaps was some psychic mishap.
Don't know what you're talking about, boss.
Fair enough. Absolutely. Just checking on that. In any case, here are an additional 100 solars. This is your pay. I have made arrangements for a hab space for you in Rakarth, so you won't have to pay for room and board while you are here. Any questions? Excellent. I like that. That silence speaks volumes. So I will see you back here in 10 days. And he will boot you out. So here is the process. I'm going to point you to, if we look at the patron record page, if you scroll down below the faction things, there is a list of between mission things that you can do. 3 of them are group actions, meaning they need at least 2 people. One is people working together to gain influence for your patron. Essentially, that's kind of an extended action you do to talk up your patron. You could also talk down your patron and reduce their influence, but I'm assuming that that's not what you wish to do. The other thing is combat training, where the group drills together, and then each person who participates in that will have an additional +1 superiority on your next combat, which is nice. It gives you an additional success level. And then there's another thing which I've mislabeled as combat training, which is something else, which I believe is bolster defenses is actually what it's called. It's not appropriate for what we're doing here. What you can do by yourself, you can speculate, which means you put some money in, you put some risk, and then the next time you come back, you might get more money. You can commission if you locate an appropriate, not wretch priest, tech priest. It would fit for 40K. You can have them make you an item if there's something special you wanted to make. You can consolidate influence if you had 3 contacts from a particular faction. You can consolidate them together into a permanent +1 with a particular faction. You can consult an expert. Basically, you go and try to find an expert, and they can give you a bonus to a test for later on. It's also the way that you go about like finding a tech priest or someone to work on something. If you are a tech priest or an engineer, you can try to build a piece of equipment that makes things cheaper. You can practice devout worship. If you do that, you make a lore test, and if you're successful, your fate total for your next mission increases by 1. So that's significant. Exhaustive drilling means that with a particular weapon, you can ignore fumbles. I don't think anybody has injuries right now. You can garner a reputation, get temporary influence with a particular faction. The most obvious one is to make money by rolling, choosing a skill that you can make money on and generating some solars based on that. You can also scout surroundings to give you advantage on a mission. And then pick up tips is one that I added. Basically, if you want to add a new contact from a particular group, you can kind of add that in, and then we assign the name later on. So those are the things that you can do. Your patron means that you get 20% discount when you go to buy stuff. So right now, because of your infractions patron, you have a 20% discount on anything that you wish to buy. So let's also go to this. Everybody's going to roll a random event. There is a table of these of a random downtime event. I saw Jetro rubbing his hands together. That says to me, you would like to be the first person to roll on the random event table.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you go too far back, you're gonna lose all the good ones. So I better get in there quick.
Absolutely. So endeavors there. Index. I picked up the PDF of the starter set, and I put the PDF of the reference pages in the folder for folks. So 221. Okay. So, Jetro, please roll a D100.
All right, here we go. 17.
17. Why don't you roll me another D100?
All right. 35.
35. So tell me how you get into an argument with a member of the Adeptus Ministorum, the priests here on Rokarth. What happens to get you into that?
Yeah, Jethro, he's thinking about he's got 10 days here on the planet. He and then they're going out of here. So he's not trying to spend too much time here. He thinks he could run a pretty good scam in 10 days, get in and get out pretty quick. And I think his first bet is, I bet there's not enough priests on this hive level. They need a new one. So he starts thinking about how he can arrange this. I think it's that they catch him maybe getting his hands on some robes, and I'm just washing them. No, I didn't mean anything by it. You see, of course, I just happen to be they just happen to be falling out of the back of this server. It's not a big deal. Everyone agrees.
Let's have you roll rapport here.
Okay. Yeah, is low bad on this chart? Is that what that means?
No, it's all over the place.
Okay, all right. Report is 50. 100 one more time. 68. I fail.
Fail. So I think that you can note for the moment that you have a -1 reputation with the Ministorum. And you should put that kind of in parentheses under total, because that'll just be for this next sort of mission. Like there'll be that air kind of hovering around you.
Got it.
Greco.
All right, here comes a D100. Jeez. Man, is that not the right text? 1D100? Oh, crap. A 19.
A 19. Well, we've already got that one, so let's have you roll again.
Okay. 88.
88. Tell me about the local party or celebration that you stumble into.
This is on a hive world.
Yeah, like what's the event that like you stumble into and get kind of wrapped up into?
Oh. Anyone who's more Warhammer 40K knowledgeable have any ideas? Is Cody going to get a
Imagine this is like what's the name of the awful sector in Star Wars? Like in the video game that was canceled.
13.
Yeah, imagine it's a place like that. Imagine like on that level, what would be kind of party that you would stumble onto there?
Maybe it's like a weird party for someone who actually got out of the prison system.
Yeah. Let's say that there was after some things happened with the tech priest stuff, there was like a shakeup, and they let like a whole cell block loose, and like they all got out, and people are shocked and surprised to see these people let loose, and that they're still alive. And I think basically you stumble into a block party, and everybody's welcome. They're grilling unusual meats, and they're handing them off to you. And the milk isn't blue; it's an off color from that. And you will, but you'll enjoy yourself. Like that, people welcome you, they treat you nicely. You're going to have a temporary additional fate point.
Nice. I will take that.
Sabian, roll me a D100.
I'll also take the fate point. Is that 29.
29. At some point these days, you realize that you are being followed, that you're being pursued. Who is it? Is it a bounty hunter? Is it some people from the guys that you crossed while you're down here? Is it the vigils? Like what who is following you? What's going on?
Would you prefer that I choose an NPC or introduce someone, or you don't care?
I don't care either way.
All right. I'm thinking, since it's been 2 weeks, I want to make sure. I don't think I did any obvious Psyker stuff in front of anyone.
No?
Okay. I'm going to say then, if it doesn't mess with continuity, that Vitruvian, who is Ogg's minder, I believe.
Vitruvian is the criminal gang person that you actually worked with. The person who of gang people that crossed was Reyna on the next row.
Oh, it's Deltana that's Ogg's ally.
There's Deltana that's Ogg's lady.
Okay. I think I've been around her the most, so it makes sense that I think I've thought I've been very quiet and clever. And I think she suspects something, and for some reason that I cannot divine, has been following me and trying to get evidence.
Okay. Do you want to try and shake her? Do you want to try and talk to her? What's your approach for this when that happens?
I think I would like to, and this is probably getting into being rolling something I'm really lousy at, do a cool thing of like, she thinks she's following me, and then like I'm there behind her, and like she's caught in the act, and it's not like confrontation, just like, hey, so I noticed you're watching me. So what's the deal with that?
Let's have you make a stealth roll.
Right. I should probably look at that then. Oh, stop popping up. Okay. That could be just regular old straight stealth.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, 21. No problem.
21.
Was always going to succeed at that.
So I think you do turn like around on her and catch her out at it. And what do you say to her when you do?
Two people can follow, Deltana. I can follow you. And I noticed what you're doing, which is following me. Why? What are you doing? I mean, you're following. Why are you following me? What are you doing?
Like I asked you before, like I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with your boss and with you guys. I don't understand. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
You don't need to understand. And understanding is not required for the system to continue working. I don't understand Herr von Grunt. I don't think those other guys do either.
And like that certainly like clearly surprises her. Like she's clearly, comes from a place where she's used to like figuring out what the action is, figuring what the angle is, and she's like, wait, what do you mean you don't understand?
Like, I don't understand why gravity works, but I know that it does. He's his own system of physics. Things orbit around him in a certain way, and it becomes predictable, and I know what's going to happen, but I don't know why. There's no point in asking why. Why do moons orbit planets? Gravity. Okay. Do you feel like you know anything more now?
Do you trust him?
I've never had reason not to.
That's not an answer. Do you trust him?
I'm gonna have to disagree with you that it's not an answer. It's not a definitive answer, that apparently you are looking for with black and white and yes and no, who do you trust?
Right now, I trust me.
Hmm.
I trust you. Probably Greco.
That is called passive aggression, everybody, in case you're wondering. And yet I could stab you right now. And I think at that point I do pull my hand out of my coat suddenly and make a motion. I'm not stabbing her, just to be clear. And then what would that supposed trust have been for? Looking back in your hospital bed, you'll realize that you don't trust me. You did until you shouldn't have. So there you go. I've known Herr Van Grunt a while. And I don't have a reason to distrust him. From my background, that's saying a lot. I thought maybe you came from the same sort of place, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think she will head off. She's clearly not entirely satisfied with that. You have the sense that she's had some kind of interaction with Von Grunt that she's trying to work through.
Very interesting. Not entirely satisfied is how I like to leave them.
Yep. Mad Fist.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Roll percentiles.
62.
62.
Me and you.
So you receive, when you go back to your rooms, an unexpected gift. You can pick a piece of common equipment. Like, what is it that you get?
Ooh, a piece of common equipment.
Yeah, we've got the gear thing in the folder.
Right. Do I know who sent the gift?
Let's figure out what it is first, and then we'll figure out who might have sent it.
Okay. Is it a gift as in, so I tell my kids, when you're getting a gift, it's not about what that person wants. It's what you want them to have. Is it like that? Or is it what
It's
Madfist wants?
definitely a useful piece of common equipment, something that somebody would think would be of use to you.
Nice. All right. So I can use 2 pistols in one hand.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm two-handed. Sorry.
Right.
I can use
two
guns.
pistols in one hand. Oh my God.
Sorry. I think I have a matching auto pistol.
Okay.
That's what it is. So now I have 2 auto pistols.
Absolutely. Yeah. Someone has done that for you. Like, is it an old friend? Is it an admirer? Is it somebody repaying a debt? What do you think that is?
I think it's somebody repaying a debt.
Okay. I think you will like go through it and you will see the name of someone that you served with. Someone that through your various criminal enterprises, like you helped them out big time. And they essentially say, hey, I saw you at the bar when you started that fight. I didn't want to say anything then. My boss was kind of hunting around for you. I owe you one. Maybe this goes a little ways to paying off what I owe you.
Nice. I like it.
Awesome.
I put their name in the chat.
Paxo Bultron Trapuso. I love it. All right, let's talk. If there's stuff that people want to buy, you can look at the gear list if there's anything there. Again, there's a rarity thing. Some things can be rare. We are in a hive world, so things are a little more accessible. And you've got some money to spend that you started with, plus the 100 that you got. But Jetro, you've got potentially 2 downtime actions.
Shopping isn't a part of downtime, right? It's just, these are downtime are these specific actions. We don't have to use
Yep.
one
Don't have to spend an
to buy
action
gear.
to buy stuff.
Cool. So I definitely want to I definitely want to pick up tips. I want to get some contacts with some other factions.
Okay. What faction would you like to get contact with?
Is there a list of them somewhere?
List of them
that's
is on
easy to
the
find?
patron page. Actually, if you look down at the factions listed there.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would like to. I think I want to get some influence or contact with the Adeptus Mechanicus. I
Okay.
think these servitor skulls, and I kind of want to hear about me. So I think Jethro's kind of his interest is in that arena right now.
Sure. Let's have you make a rapport test.
All right. Now, this is my best skill, and we know last time it let me down, but this time it's not. This time I'm going to succeed hugely. 57. I failed by 7.
Yeah, failed by 7. So I think you
That'll do
will find that when you kind of go to talk to the Mechanicus people, like kind of hang around the edge of that, but apparently there's a lot of upset and turmoil in there. Apparently they found out that there was some rogue Adeptus Mechanicus doing off the books experimentation, and that lab got revealed, and now there's a whole administratum thing going on, and some people have gotten condemned, and it's a real mess right now. Does that sound
Okay.
reasonable?
It does. And if I may, I can use my second downtime action really fast.
Okay.
I think I want to take that information and sell it. I want to, and maybe some extra information too on the side.
Oh, I like it.
I would like to do income. And
Sure.
I would like to use report to try and, offload some of this information to folks who might be interested.
Absolutely. Let's have you make that roll.
And is this? It says I get an additional thing if I use a specialization. Specialization, that is a specific. It's like this next level of skill, right? It doesn't include.
So you could do it with charm or haggle or inquiry.
Okay, but I don't actually have those at all. So would they just be the flat? I mean, I don't have those.
Well, now you could spend your points and buy a specialty in one of those if you wanted.
I'm going to trust fate and roll report again. I failed last time. I'm going to succeed this time.
Okay.
And then I might specialize into those. I might also specialize into something that is useful for not dying. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
40. I succeed by 10.
Okay. So you've got one level. We'll give you a second level for the sort of setup work that you sort of did on that.
Too kind.
So that is 2 SL, which gets you for each SL. So you're going to get 200 solars.
Perfect. Just what I need.
Okay.
All right, I'll go shopping now.
Okay. Greco. I had to look my little note, my pronunciation note by your name.
It's okay. I
What would you like to do for downtime?
I was just looking over the list, which is I had trouble finding.
Oh,
I
sorry.
found it under patron record. No problem. No problem. I just didn't catch that that's where it was.
Before everyone has chosen, the group ones, do they need the whole group or more than one person, or?
At least 2 people have to participate in that, and those people will get that benefit.
I'd be interested in combat training if anybody else wants to do that.
Okay.
I'm down for that. I can be one of mine.
Okay.
Especially if Sabion expresses that interest.
Okay. That's not rolled. You just get it. Sabion, Madfist, Greco. You may note that your next combat, you all have +1 superiority.
Jethro, we invited you, but you were shopping.
You got to make money, spend money. I'm kind of busy. I don't need to. If all three of you train, you don't need me there. That's the beauty of it. I'm
That's
the face
true,
of
we
this whole
did.
thing. You guys are the muscle. So, well,
Mhm.
hold on. It's nice to be needed. I mean, you probably would have liked to have me. I'm sure it would have been a great time.
I'm sure it would have been.
So Greco, what would you like to do for your other downtime action?
So much work. So what was the thing I guess +1
Superiority.
Superiority.
Basically, that means that, and you can have up to +3 at a time. Once per turn, you can add +1 success level to a test during your next combat.
That's terrifying. Okay.
It's kind of nice.
I know one that I'd like to do if you want to.
Yes, please
Wait for
go,
a
go,
minute
go. Thank you.
Okay.
Although I forget the name of it now that I've navigated it away. The look aroundy one.
The scout surroundings.
That's the one.
Okay.
I figure if we're going to be here for a while, this is a very unfamiliar place. It's a warren of lots of twisting passages, and I'd like to know more.
Okay. And we'll say that you'll pick up potentially, so it'll be appropriate to the next mission, like pick up from your boss about like where you're headed to, and maybe like talk to some people about that to give you advantage.
Okay.
Does that seem fair?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, you don't have to roll, and during your next mission, you gain advantage on any intelligence, lore, or navigation tests.
So I need to remember that I want to navigate.
Yeah. Or go, how do I know about this thing? What do I know about this thing?
Spout lore.
Spout lore. Madfist?
Yes, I'm going to bolster my reputation
Okay.
with the Astra Militarium.
All right.
I'm going to go brag about all those kill shots I got down in that black site by the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Okay. So go ahead and make a rapport test.
All right. I'm sorry, did you say rapport?
I did say rapport because you got to go and talk to people.
All right, here we go. Rapport. Who made these rules? These rules are awful. Is it rolling? It's rolling. Ooh, that's terrible.
That is
78.
terrible. Do you want to spend a fate point to re-roll that, or are you all good with that?
Man, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
All right, here comes the reroll. Oh, that's terrible too. All right,
Absolutely. Okay.
I'm done. I tried.
Absolutely.
If you don't spend another fate point, then you've wasted that first one.
Right. We call that the sunk cost privilege. So
It's gone. It's
gone.
gone.
Greco.
Could I consult expert on the topic of where these other two are?
Where these other two?
Like, aren't we after two other dudes?
Oh no, you already
Hire?
got them. Those are the skulls.
Oh shit. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
realize we had everybody.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's
Then
been a
I
couple
shan't
weeks.
waste that. I think I will be boring and choose to some exhaustive grilling grilling, maybe drilling
Really?
instead.
Okay.
Exhaustive grilling is something you should add, but for
Mhm.
now I'll take exhaustive
sounds great.
grilling.
You were at the block party. You were already doing the exhaustive grilling.
It's true. It's true. I had the like shoot the cook apron on and everything. Exhaustive drilling with oh screw it. I'm gonna do it with my las gun. So I've
Okay.
exhaustively drilled with the las gun, and that means that I ignore any fumbles that I suffer.
That is excellent. So you all will come back up to meet with your patron. And it's at the end of that 10 days, you've had a chance to rest, relax, enjoy yourselves. He is there, and he will say, so we were able to extract some information from the skulls, useful information, the information that we needed. I was able to call on some assets, and they were able to pull things out. So we're going to be heading out here soon. We have another task. So I spoke with the folks that you brought, and he'll kind of look over at Greco and Sabian. Spoke with Deltana and Og. And I got what I think we can get out of Og. I think he's given us the information he has. And so I think he's kind of a shitheel. I spoke with him. I offered him 100 solars to if just to dump Deltana off and cut her loose on planet, and he jumped at that. When I put it to her kind of in the reverse, she said no. I think he, just from my talking with him, may have been the one who actually got his crew like in trouble here. So I know that you made some agreements. I would very much like to shunt him out at the first opportunity, unless anyone has an objection to that. Mad Fist, you have an objection to that?
No, I don't have an objection. I have no agreements with Og. I'm happy to clean that up for you.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we'll be dumping him off. Greco, I know that you're the one who made the original agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with that, or would you like me to shift how we manage that?
I'd like to shift how we manage it. I
You
think
tell me.
Deltana expects us to uphold that part of the bargain. But once we get off planet, we can drop him at the closest port or the first port we stop.
Okay. She seems like she'll be useful. Seems like she's got some skills. So take some time, build up some rapport there, such that when we cut Og loose, there's less of a problem. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
All
We're
right.
just going to let him walk?
Oh, no. At the end of things, let us say that his situation will be problematic.
If
Excellent.
we walk around murdering shitbags, it's going to be an empty galaxy, guys. Maybe we just drop him off at a port. He can find his
Greco,
own
it's
way.
a very full galaxy. It could use a little emptying, I think. But I do agree. You know, you made a deal. You got to make deals. You got to honor. Of course, patron. I'm not saying you would do anything to alter these deals, but perhaps you asked the question of both of them. Maybe give Deltana the information so she realizes just how bad of a guy this here Og is,
I'll
and let
give
the
her
problem
that
take care of
information.
itself.
Okay.
Regardless, I agree. Deltana has used to the crew. I think she's a stand-up person that could be a good part, an
All right.
asset to us. Og, less so. Doesn't mean we need to cap him. Come on, Memphis. Come on, man.
I'm cool not capping him because it feels way better later on when he comes back and I get to say I told you so.
All right. Is in your hands, Greco.
Okay.
You also have responsibility for the care and feeding of core.
Is that a responsibility or is that just a benefit?
Well,
Look at him. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
Yeah, I kind of like him. Honestly, I'm warming up to the guy. He's great. He's a great look at him. Look at him. Oh, look at him.
so let me tell you what the situation is, and that the situation that we are about to be walking into, my friends.
I
So,
have a rules question before we get too far.
please, absolutely.
I think I bought 2 levels of specialization with the pistol.
Okay.
Am I just adding those 2 advances onto my existing ranged skill for the pistol? Is that how that works?
Yeah, so you put specialization and you put pistol, plus it'll be another plus 10 then if it's 2 advances.
Okay, cool. I think
Yeah.
I did. I think I got that right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this text I'm about to kind of go through is also on the patron record page. So I'm going to put that in a little bit of shade here. So we've got that there. So, as you know, I have, for various reasons, an ongoing rivalry with the rogue trader Klaskalov family. These are people who were present here on the planet. This is a historical thing. You don't need to worry too much about that, except to know that this family has mucked with my business, and I have, in exchange and in turn, replied. They were clearly the people who were looking around beforehand at things. They were here on the planet. They were seeking information. They may be going through other channels, so we may not be entirely out of the woods. We have the people that we wanted to get, and I suspect we've got at least an edge or an advantage in getting to things before they do. But that's a secondary matter. We press onwards. I have a task that has 2 main parts. And there's also the possibility of an additional bonus for those of you who are excitable and energetic and looking forward to things. On the planet called Turisan, there is an excavation, an expedition that's being mounted by a scion of my rivals, a man by the name of Terbin Klasikov. He is operating out of a frontier city called Abraxan. So this expedition, they have the city, and then outside of the city, they have a team and a camp that is digging up what they believe may be parts of a lost void ship. Something that went down several millennia ago. They have contracted with a group of abhumans, not entirely human, somewhat human. These are representatives from what is called the Leagues of Votann. They are offensively referred to as squats, high grav world peoples that have developed their own split parallel culture. They have, though, some arts and technologies that are useful. My rivals from this dynasty have apparently employed some of these Votann League members to assist with what they're doing. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Turisan, and I want you to make life difficult for Klaskalov. He has local support. He has a payroll. I want you to gently sabotage the expedition, join up, ally with rivals, hire criminals, whatever. The plan is in your hands. I do have an agent there named Castimus Helius. He will assist you. He is my person on the ground that you can meet up with. Now, I want this disturbed. I want this messed with. I don't want it obvious that I am involved. I don't want it obvious that our particular group is involved. I don't want Turban, the scion of that family, my rival family, I don't want them dead. Anyone that works for them is another matter. It is better for me if Turban fails and suffers the blame and suffers the humiliation of defeat. That would taste delicious to me. And I wish to taste his tears. I wish to drink them deeply. I want him to go crying back to his family. That is what I want from this. Sorry, it gets ahead of me sometimes. But more importantly, I want you to mess with this and cause problems. I want you to have things go wrong such that those Votann decide to take leave voluntarily. I don't want them injured. I don't want them hurt. I want them to go, this is a fuck up, and go to leave. And when they decide to leave, I will have a data pad that you can hand off to them, offering them another task. I want it to go wrong such that the Votann voluntarily leave. And here's the thing is the Votann have a sense of honor. They should not think that you caused this. They should not think that you set this up, because that will throw a wrench in the works. So it should look like things went wrong, that you weren't necessarily involved with it, and they will deal with theirs. At least obfuscate your actions in this. But otherwise, you have the choice of how you wish to manage these things. If there is anything that you wish to salvage from this excavation, from what's going on there, you have full rights to that. You have full freedom to get and steal what you want. I will take only a modest cut from you if you are able to lift things off from the site. You will find the text of all of this on the patron record page in green highlight for everyone's reference. So I do have the text and names all there. We know that they have a ship that's going to be present on the planet. So I'm going to assign you a small craft and a pilot to get you there. And when I say small craft, I mean small craft. Any questions? This is why I enjoy working with all of you. That silence, it is excellent. I'll give you 24 hours to get your gear together in case there's any additional purchases that you need to make. And then we will be moving you on to deal with matters at Torreson. Sound good?
Sounds excellent.
Excellent. Well then, and he will clap his hands and he will set all of you loose. We will take our first break here and come back in 10 and see if there's anything anybody's buying that I should know about before we cut to the landing at Torreson.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So we're talking bombing and planning and all that stuff. So we're coming back into that just to give
Oh,
everyone a
good.
heads up.
Let's make sure this is all on
Get
tape.
that
So
recorded there.
Yeah.
Get us on that watch
Uh,
list.
That's right.
Can't wait to see the AI summary of that part.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's always a banger. I was thinking, what if we, in addition to anything else we do, I think it'd be fun to rile up a guild or union of local excavators who should be hired for this sort of thing, who aren't happy that they're hiring out these abhuman League of Votann miners. You know what I mean? And at the very least, I feel like that would jam up the work while we get up to other stuff. Is if this guy all of a sudden has to start dealing with these. Listen, what I know from Star Wars is that trade disputes are huge, and let's get one going on this planet.
I like that.
Just to make sure I understand, he is trying to dig up something that might be a void ship. We're trying to wreck his day. Nothing
wreck his
specific.
day. Yeah.
Don't kill him.
Don't
Just
kill
make
him is the
things
one
miserable.
specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can join up with it. We can get some allies. We could join up with his crew and then maybe sabotage from within. We can hire gangs to kind of, hey, go rob all of his guys every day they go to work so they stop going to work. Anything, just so long as we don't kill him.
And I think Savion would also make a strong play for don't kill the underlings. Like that's worse.
Right.
They're just trying to make a living.
No, I'm with that.
I'm fine with that. I love it. It's a great ideal. The thing about sabotage with explosives, it can be hard to, manage. So
You said it's got to be explosives.
I didn't. I certainly didn't.
Who
I
said
had other
sabotage?
suggestions. I'm not going to look at Mad Fist, but if I was to look at somebody who wanted to blow things up, it would be this guy over here.
Yeah.
Look, stuff gets blown up, falls apart, cogs.
Every time you're near.
Exactly. Now, if you don't want anybody to get hurt, I will be careful to make sure, it goes off when, a shift's not working, that kind of thing.
Yes. And perhaps we can find a way to make the head honcho's life worse by improving the lot of his underlings. A little bit of
Interesting
Robin Hood kind of action going on.
So the other point that he mentioned, right, or that our patron mentioned, aside from not killing him, is to obfuscate that it came through him. Not
Right.
necessarily, it could come through us, so long as we're not openly saying who we're attached to. So yeah, we could definitely do that too.
Basically, the only way that you reveal that is like if you invoked his name, called on his influence, those kinds of things. Those would be giveaways.
Right.
They notice our matching Von Grunt t-shirts.
Yes.
That's right.
It's laundry day. What? Am I supposed to wear something else? This is free. Rich, do you have any suggestions on what route you'd like to take?
You are
muted.
somehow muted.
I am?
Now
Oh,
you're
no.
not.
I think
now.
you just weren't. I think you
I
were
think I
just
was
not
whispering.
talking.
I was just.
Oh,
It's just hard. I'm not good at this stuff. Is what I whined
got
quietly
it.
to myself.
It feels like some of these things, because of the way the game allows you to abstract stuff, we could probably put a bunch of them into motion if we really wanted to. You know what I mean? And so long as the rolls aren't absolutely terrible, it'll go smoothly.
Just if there's any is there anything else people want to buy specialty equipment that would be not common? That's the only thing that I'm concerned about here.
Right.
Where was the I'm sorry, the explosives that you
That's
talked
under
about?
grenades and explosives. It's a demo charge. It costs 50 and it comes with a radio detonator.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I have
two of those.
I have 104 credits. I can solars, excuse me. I can't believe I would say that.
And it'd be
to throw into
20%
the
off, so
pit.
it's actually 40 creds.
Mm. Then I'll take one as well.
And I've got 2 sets. Because, boom, boom.
All right. And we can flash back if we need to on anything else if people want to go and get a multi-melta or plasma pistol or whatever.
I mean, I do, but I will immediately explode, I think, if I touch
Yes.
one.
Yeah, the super dangerous thing. So I think that you will get loaded up on a a decent transport. Essentially, the cover uh, is going to be that this pilot is dropping supplies off there on planet and on Tourism, and that you four are, essentially have caught a ride on the vessel, uh, uh, plus plus your dog, and should you need them, we can also bring Deltana into to play. Essentially, you get the sense Von Grunt will say, "I'm going to send Deltana with you, just as an extra body contact. You don't have to put her in the field, but like, let's see how it works out. Have her earn her keep, and I'll make it clear that this is part of what is me backing her and Og. So she will be there. So you can do that. And Rich, flak jacket covers arms and body, armor 3.
Do we have any idea of what Deltana is particularly well suited for?
Well, she's not good at shadowing people, you know that.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah.
She can keep old incompetent men alive if
Yes.
that's necessary.
What you do know is that she's lived in a hive world, so what she's good at is horse trading, scavenging, that kind of thing. So barter, trade, scavenge, making your way around and fitting in those kinds of areas. So we'll see you on board the ship. This is the first time you all have kind of been in close quarters. You are in close quarters for a few days, because this ship essentially gets picked up by a larger void ship, a la Dune, and then they warp before they get in system. So Sabian, do you want to call a scene with another one of the PCs or with an NPC on that trip? I mean, it's the first time, what do we see you doing now that you're after that incident in the temple, and now you're back together?
What was the temple? Was that where
Well, the
Deltana was?
Adeptus Mechanicus, where you blew a
Oh,
bunch
that
of stuff
okay, that
and-
one, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking about that, which I was said, I don't know if you have breaking machine powers, and I was like, you might have some possible hints, because that the priest's little floaty thing did break at a very opportune time. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm feeling something with Mad Fist, like
Yeah.
just we're crushed in the same spot, like I'm picturing he occupies space, and I'm there like in the airplane seat next to him, like trying to, maybe I can get my shoulders close enough together. Just no, it's fine. It's fine. We got plenty of room. Sure.
Mampus,
Sure.
what do you think you saw with that whole thing with Sabian? Like, have you rationalized it away? Do you know that Sabian's a psyker? What do we want to establish here?
Yeah, so I think maybe there's something. I don't think he knows unless Sabian has said so or someone else has said so. I don't think he's has an inkling.
I think we have some people that kind of suspect, right, Sabian? Or do they all know? How do you want to play that?
I thought people knew, although I'm not sure what we've established.
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah, I think you know, but I
Yeah,
don't
feel
think
like
you've
Greco
seen.
knew. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think they've seen you do that kind of shit, though, right?
yeah, I imagine that's a lot more. Well, technically, it's not obvious because there's no asterisk next to it. It's deniable, but active, let's say, than anything else. Where it's just sort of like, oh, things seem to happen differently around me. But that was like, I threw my hand out and a thing collapsed and the guy fell down. Like, and then I threw stuff on top of people. Um, so for people who are rationalizing it, it would be a little more difficult at this point. I don't know that Von Grunt would have said exactly why I'm around. I think it would probably be one of those based on his personality, like, and everyone I've chosen, there's a reason for it. This team is carefully selected.
Nice. That's good. I think that's my in, right? So if, because I think Madfist thinks, Psychers are, for the most part, outlawed, and the ones that aren't, well, we don't see them because, the Empire is using them, the Emperor is using them for all kinds of, they're far and away, right? They're not right here. But I think, everyone is here for a reason. Our patron picked them, right? So I think at some point, while we're jostling, he'll say, so back there, right? When we're picking up those servitors, what's your thing, right? I mean, you saw me just smoke 5, 6, 7 of those Mechanicus heads, right?
Put up my fingers and just like,
What's your thing?
so we know counting isn't a strong suit. Or maybe your vision needs to be checked. Are you seeing double? Well, I'm not so much of a hands-on kind of person. More of a logistics. I grease the wheels. I mean, come on, you've been in situations like that before, right? I mean, look at you. Kind of looks up and down, somewhat dismissively, but also appraisingly.
Yeah, he's obtuse, right?
That's not your first rodeo.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, you're right.
Things went a little better though, didn't they?
Yeah, but you're being kind of obtuse about the whole thing.
I'm obfuscating. I'm starting early.
Obfuscating. Sorry. Jethro talks, right? Greco is kind of command control.
Jethro talks enough for all of us.
Yeah. I do the killing.
I saw Jethro ready to come in there with Jethro talks. Was that an invitation? Just a description.
And so, if we're sitting around the bar talking about what we do, what does Sabian do?
You're like a dog with a bone. I can see why Van Grunt picked you. You set your mind to a mission. You don't relax until you finished it.
Well, I mean, we were training, all three of us together, right? And I'm gonna be honest, your gun skills could. I'm glad we trained because now we can kind of cover for you. I'm just trying to figure out what you bring to the table.
That's why I suggested it.
And that was good. I mean, you'll get better hanging with us, but.
Well, what do you think was the main issue?
See, I think you're pulling me off on a tangent. Why
Yeah.
did Van Brunt bring you here? What do you do? If it's a secret and you can't tell, just say Van Brunt said we need to keep it quiet, and I'll leave it alone.
Oh, he didn't say that.
I don't know what it is you
You
do.
could have just lied. You could have just lied. That would have been it.
That's right, you could have lied.
I know. Look, I don't know how much of the galaxy you've been around, how much you've seen, what you know, what you don't know. Let me ask you this. What's the worst thing you've ever seen happen?
Worst thing I've ever seen happen. I've seen 3 or 4 grunts get eaten by something that came out of the void. I've seen that. Like the first guy tried to grab, the second guy tried to grab the first guy from the maw, right? And that maw was so huge, it grabbed both of them. And then that third guy hesitated. and I ran. There was no winning that.
That was smart. It's,
But I've never seen a creature like that.
I just want to check in lore wise. The void is related to what I do, right? Like I can
Yeah, you do kind of with your
void stuff,
psychic
or is
powers
the
tap
warp
into
different?
the void.
I choose my words carefully.
Like I'm not 100% sure how it ties in, but okay. Yeah. Imagine if that wasn't a creature from the void, but somebody on your team that was doing that. Would you feel comforted by that, or a little bit worse for knowing it?
Look, you could just say you don't want to tell me, right? And I'm gonna just go back to cleaning my gun. Yeah, I don't know what none of that means. But
I
I'll be
take that
watching
as your
you,
answer.
right? I'll be watching you, right? We got this mission. You're gonna have to do
Make
your
sure you
thing.
do.
I'll be watching when you do your thing.
You've seen how I shoot that laser pistol. You better be watching me.
Recco, what about you? Is there a person you want to talk to, scene you want to call?
So we currently have the four of us, the
Four of
team.
you. There's probably a couple of pilots here, and there's Deltana with you.
Yeah. And not Og. This is
Not
Deltana
Og, no.
doing a mission, and I've made an agreement that I'm gonna start prepping Deltana for working without Og. So I think that sounds like a scene.
Okay. Like you can tell as you see her, she's on the ship. She's trying to be, she's watching you. She's trying to be chill, trying to be frosty, but she's clearly never been on a fucking ship before, and this is kind of freaking her out. Uh, she's got new clothing. She's got, a gun, this kind of stuff. Like this is not what she was expecting.
Hey, are you holding up? I'm like, I got a hard rubber ball and I keep bouncing it, deck plate, wall, and then core catches it. Sometimes he brings it to me, sometimes he doesn't. Then I'll bounce it again. Are you holding up?
Good, good. The air's really weird in here.
Yeah, it's all recycled, and a ship this small, they don't have a lot of greenery to help.
No, I mean, it's so much cleaner and better than in the hive. Like, I get so used to smelling ammonia all the time.
Yeah.
I had a cousin couldn't smell ammonia. Was super lucky.
Well, hey, you're off that world, and it'll be a distant memory. And I think you've got an opportunity to work with this team for a bit, and if it's a thing you like, thing you find an aptitude for, we can keep you employed.
Like, I get we're going to this place, and you all are going to tell me what to do. Like, Von Grunt didn't give me a good sense of what it is we're going to be doing.
He doesn't know. I think he wants to be unaware, kind of a plausible deniability type of thing.
Title drop. Okay. So what do you think we're going to be doing?
We're with Mad Fist. So there will be some explosives. We're with Jethro. So there will be some extremely long conversations. that may ultimately turn useful. I think we're going to stir some shit up.
And Sabian? What does she do?
Things always go her way. Don't worry. She's good at what she does.
Okay. Okay. Like, you just tell me what to do. I'll do it.
Okay.
I can handle myself. I just got to know what we're doing.
I can tell the way you took care of Og. That meant a lot. That's why you're getting this opportunity. But I need to talk to you about something.
Okay.
So, the conversation that you had with our patron, Mr. Van Grunt.
Uh-huh.
Remember a point when he made an offer for you to go solo and Og to be detached from the group?
Yeah, I mean, I stick by my friends. That's the only way you survive in a hive. It's that or you sell people out. Those are the two ways. And the second one catches up to you eventually.
He reached out and he puts a hand on her tattooed shoulder and he says, listen, I want you to know Og took the other way. He was happy to let you swing or to just let you go.
Rich.
Uh-huh.
Let me have you roll
Yeah.
rapport.
All right. My report is less than awesome. Okay. I have faith, though. I got to have a faith. And I really wish you could add 100 die roll, but I do like that it's at least at the top.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do to boost this roll, right?
Well, you can save it and use fate afterwards to re-roll.
Sure, I knew about that. I
Yeah.
just wasn't
The
sure.
only thing would be is if you think that, I'm actually going to give you a bonus here because I think there were some indications that she got from Van Grunt that may have already been the case. That's kind of why she was following Sabian around before. So we'll make this, we'll give you a plus 20 on the roll here.
All right, here we go. And the plus 20, I don't. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
That is a niner?
So
Niner?
that is 5 levels of success.
Holy shnikey.
And I think she looks up at you and she says, yeah, I thought that was the case.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not okay. I want you to be okay, but I want you to know that is not okay. That's not how this team works. I would go to the wall for Sabian, Madfist, Jethro, and now you. Okay? That's not how this team works.
And she'll say, when we get back, like I want to make my displeasure known to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fair.
To him, Og? Or
Og,
to
yeah.
him?
Og, yeah.
But he's getting separated right now, though, right?
Yeah.
That's how I clocked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Og
Okay,
is back
I know.
with Von Grunt. And she'll say, when we get back with Von Grunt, when we run back to Og, I want to make my displeasure known.
I don't think you're going to have that opportunity. Og's not staying with this team. He's being moved on.
Good.
Yeah. You don't want to carry that on you anyway. We'll be killing lots of people who really deserve it. He's just part of the hive. But you aren't anymore.
Can I throw the ball?
So the ball. I don't like prep it or do slow. Just like boom, toss her into the
Okay.
ball. Let's see what her reflexes are like.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think the two of you will sit and toss this horrible, slimy dog ball around. And as they get wetter and wetter. Jetro, what about you?
Yeah, Jetro's having a one-sided conversation with the pilot, talking about how, if he just had access to a simulator, he could have become a pilot. And he's always had a knack for it. Driving any vehicle, really, he's been able to do so wonderfully. Anytime he gets behind a stick, it's natural to him, really. Yeah, he's going off on that tear.
Absolutely. Why don't you make a rapport roll? Like you are good at being chummy. So
Okay. So in this instance, would I add my specialization of deception?
yeah,
Because
I
I'm
like that.
lying about that? Okay.
Absolutely.
So I got a 60, 33.
33. So that's a crit. I think this guy buys it
Uh-oh.
hook, line, and fucking sinker. He's like, well, hey man, I gotta go hit the head. You want to hop in my seat?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, I can sit in the seat. I mean, honestly, with this new tech they put in these things, the machine spirits honestly fly themselves. It's really just
Oh
minding it,
God,
right?
oh God, no, they don't. No.
Well, of course, no. I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying they. It's almost like they do. It's it's the easiest. Hit the head, man. It's the easiest thing in the world. Don't forget about it. Forget
All
about
right. Yeah. And I think there is what do we see when you are suddenly thrust into the pilot seat there?
I think Jethro tries to touch nothing until it seems like he has to. So if it's like he gets out and he sits down, he's like, okay, it's going the right direction or everything's moving right. And if it seems to list a little bit, then he reaches out and grabs what he saw the guy holding on to, and then he just kind of holds it. He doesn't want to press any buttons. He doesn't want to fly in any direction. He's just, if I just hold it the way it was,
let's have you make a reflexes roll.
Perfect. Reflexes is 45. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm willing to burn all my fate on this. But I won't need to because I got a 43. What are we talking about? Jethro can do everything he says.
You keep it set. You keep it set there. And I think you'll impress the pilot. So you can add him as a infractionist contact. You can give him a name and put him down there under the infractionist contacts. He's yeah, he's going to be sitting on the ship the whole time. So you need help, he's there for you, and impressed. And lastly, Mad Fist, anything you want to do?
Yeah. I wanna talk to Deltana.
Okay.
What I don't know is, am I talking to her before or after Greco? And that might matter. I don't want to decide.
After Greco. Let's say that just because we've done it that order.
Okay.
There.
All right. Yeah, so I when she's when Greco leaves, Madfis approaches her, sits close but not creepy close, and he says, "Hey, welcome to the team."
Yeah.
You know what you're doing? You know what assignment you got?
No.
Greco kind of.
No, I got a gun. I got some leathers on. Greco said that we kind of didn't know what we were going to be doing until we hit the ground.
All right, all right. No, that's probably true. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants a lot of times. We've got goals, but we kind of work it out as we move through everything. So if you need anything, right, you can holler at me.
So when Greco was describing everybody what they did, like you're kind of like you're the big gun.
I'd say the smart gun. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with guns. It's
You have a lot of them, but you and Greco.
yeah. We served in the same unit together, so we kind of came up together. In
Is
the
that how you joined up, the two of you?
yeah, kind of. It's been good. Greco is solid. You could do far, far worse than sticking by him. He'll look out for you. He looks out for all of us. So yeah, you can count on him.
Did you know Og was a piece of shit?
Uh, maybe a half an hour before you knew, right? And that's terrible. And were you guys together?
Kinda. Like he was really good at making you feel like you were needed. And I've always been kind of a mother hen, and I lost a lot of my friends, and I didn't want to lose any more. Like when those people came for him, like they killed off like the rest of my friends. And that, I mean, I barely got Og out of there.
Well, he's he's got a different path. He's not part of this team anymore. And you don't have to be a mother hen anymore. So hang with us. We'll turn you to a party bird. It'll be all right.
Okay. And you see her kind of, she does look down. She looks at Sabian like again, she wants to ask what is going on with that. But she kind of,
Right.
you see this time she kind of just nods and clearly like, okay, I don't think anybody's going to answer me on that. I don't think you are. I'm just going to let that one lie.
Yeah, and I kind of see that, and I'll say, yeah, I don't know what she does either. It's all right. But we're gonna find out on this mission. We keep out. In fact, if I'm not watching, you should be watching, and we'll just trade notes. Because she's got to do whatever it is she does on this mission. It has to happen, right?
Okay.
So, you keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out, and we'll trade notes later.
Sounds good.
All right.
And I think we cut to the nice gritty, dark, grimdark background of the planet in the distance there. It's a desert planet. We can tell that from the air. It is our Tatooine, our Talaran. It's we can see on the horizons great dust storms rolling. Maybe a little bit of the Furiosa, like looking down at the rolling of the landscape there. And you can tell you're on the Imperial borderlands, like you're at the edges of Imperial space. Not a lot of things in orbit here. Not a lot of like satellite beacons or anything like that you would expect. And even from here, you can see there aren't that many settlements on planet. Where on the night side you can see a few things lit up, but a lot of it is just dark as the ship goes down. And it'll come in at an Atmo We'll see the city down below. It is circular, very much sort of Mos Eisley in terms of coloration and shape. Tell me, Dretro, what's another thing that we notice about the city here as we're heading in when we first see Abraxan coming down into the desert lands? What else do we notice about it?
About the city, I think the city has a gigantic wall, just an old style concrete wall surrounding it.
Big old plascrete, ancient. I think on the inside, it still looks good. On the outside, we can see that it's probably lost over the years at least a foot worth of material to the sandstorms and things. There's probably a static field up at the top of that pulls down the dust and stuff out of the atmo and then kind of shunts it out. And then they've got people outside, like sort of constantly unburying the city so this desert doesn't just swallow it up. What's another thing that we'll see here, Greco, as we come down, as we're heading down in towards the city, either from a distance or up close?
I think we see an extremely large sinkhole. It could be the result of some kind of weapon of mass destruction, or it could be something created by a giant worm. I'm not sure.
Okay. Sabian, as you're coming down, and there's the classic spaceport, a couple of docks there. The only other ship that is here is very clearly the class Kaloff like ship. Like, how do you know that it is a elite rogue trader fancy family ship? Like, what is the ostentatious bit of it?
I feel like it's got the standard layout of a trader, but like every individual component has been upgraded to the top of the line thing. And like if you just saw the silhouette, you might be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what that is. And then as soon as you clock it, you're like, oh, probably also a little bit of more money than sense, because why would you do that when you could have just bought a ship that does all those things?
Oh yeah, add-on compartments, extra slick stuff, special turbochargers, fins, all of that
So
kind
many
of stuff.
fins.
And I think you can see as your ship is coming down, sort of like that vibration that's coming through as the thrusters are landing. You look over at that super slick ship. You're guessing that Terbe must like be using that as his HQ, because there are people around and stuff, and it is nice. He has some guards there, that kind of thing. Mad Fist, what is the thing you see as you're coming down around here that tells you that they've had to deal with orcs in the past?
Hmm. I think I'm not sure how high the walls are. I think along the walls, and maybe also at major entry points or landing points, um, they've got maybe uh, orc skulls
Okay.
posted up, right? Because we know, right, if the orcs are uh, warring and strength is might, right? That's kind of intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
right? But also at the same time, I think they may have heavy uh, gun emplacements that we've seen in the militarium that we use mostly against orcs. orc gear.
Yeah, real basic area stuff. Orc stuff is can be fragile. You just want to you don't want precise fire when you're firing at the orcs there. Yeah, I think we'll see that the ship will land, come down. You know, even with the dust filters on the walls, the place is gritty almost immediately. You can feel it getting inside your clothing right away. And there are essentially sand zappers everywhere, like mosquito zappers, but trying to ionize and get particulates out of the atmosphere here. But you'll come down, you'll disembark like you all were just hitching a ride. You know, there is a ministorum person who will check over your papers, look over that. And as you are kind of coming out of the spaceport, there is a guy who is waiting for you. Will come up older, looks solid. He'll come up to you, and he will say, I'm Castimus. I think I was expected.
Yeah, Castimus, good to meet you. We're several friends.
Good, good. Yeah, our mutual acquaintance sent ahead that you'd be coming here and looking for work. I took the liberty of finding you a nice, clean set of rooms. I'll give you the address. You set up there. You can choose to go there or not. It's up to you. I'm going to give you my Vox code if you need to get a hold of me later. Let's walk and talk. And he does the thing where he starts, you know, getting you like, here are the major egress points. Here's where the market is at. Here's where the militarum does its barracks. Here are the things you need to know. There's where, you know, the work crews are quartered. That's the gate that people leave out of to go towards the dig. That's the entryway for the salt mines that run beneath the city. All of that kind of stuff. And I think eventually we'll cut to you in a tea house, you know, pipes passed around, and tea and coffee and other kind of things. And he'll say, well, what do you need me to tell you? What do you need me to do?
First, do you know where the person of interest is staying and where his crew is staying? I assume the ship we passed in the spaceport, but do most of his friends stay on site, or is there a place in the city that they hang out?
Plaskalov and his inner circle stay on the ship. Workers, some additional servants that were brought in are in town. They work in shifts, so they're in for 3 days here and then 3 days out. The dig site's a couple of hours away. And they swap out. Plaskalov has a flyer that he takes out to there. Everybody else just uses bikes to get out to there, and I can rent you those. We can do you standard bike or bike with sidecar, however you want to do that. A lot of the earth's hard packed around here. They did a lot of part scale terraforming in some parts. He usually has at least one lieutenant in town managing things, and he's got a couple of different people. And then he has at least one out at the dig site.
Okay, well, friends, what do we think about this idea? I'm just spitballing here, but we could get started by delaying that next shift transfer. Perhaps some of these bikes get damaged, what have you. And maybe the lieutenant who's based in town, maybe he runs into some trouble at a bar. I know we talked about keeping underlings safe, but a lieutenant is certainly no underling. So I'm just thinking maybe we could do something about that.
Just trying to give Madfist a chance to use Plan B again.
It's a good plan. I think it should be Plan A, but I get it, and that's why it's Plan B. High up, but not the first.
Cassimus
And it doesn't.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Cassimus will say, I am gonna duck out here. I'll let you all talk. I don't want to necessarily know what's going on, but should you need me to get you introduced to people, get you fixed up on things, point you to secondary locations, you call me and I will take care of that. I am at the service of our mutual friend.
Appreciate that.
Before he leaves,
Okay.
Matt Fisk will ask him, are you happily at the service? Or I'm at the service?
Pauses.
See, pauses are bad.
He says, this is an opportunity for me. When von Grunt was discommoded, when he had that fall, other people fell with him, and I ended up getting stuck here. And I've been here for a while. So if this all goes well, I'm hoping that he will spend some resources on getting me somewhere else.
We won't let you down.
Good, good. You know, because those were bad days when that happened.
So you're willing to take that as an answer to your question. But when you ask me a question, you want a straight yes or no. That was a no. He is not happily at the service of our patron.
But I know where that man stands. He's with us. He's looking
Yeah,
to move
Savigan,
up.
I didn't want to say anything. I was there. I heard all that. You were doing real research. I'm just saying. You know, it was a small ship. We were close. I might have been around the corner, but that was just.
Let's pause.
That man is not going to shoot us in our sleep.
I wouldn't shoot you in your sleep.
I don't know, because I don't know what you do.
Put a lot of emphasis on shoot before I walk.
Yes. Let's take a quick 5 bio break for our second break, and then we'll come back, okay?
Perfect.
Sounds good.
So, like, there are a couple ways we can do this. We can, continue with a little bit of the planning here, or we can kind of, if people want to do some groundwork, checking in on things, we can also do a once around on stuff. Or, there was some discussion of plans. Hitting lieutenant, doing things. What do you all think? Any strong feelings anyway? I throwing that out open to the table, which is always a dangerous thing, but
I just want to suggest, as much as a good idea as punching the lieutenant in the face is, perhaps we could use him as an ongoing asset. If we can turn him, then we have an in to a lot more mayhem. And then plan B would be to punch him in the face.
I was actually I like that idea, for sure. So I think we should try to turn him. I was gonna suggest I could do some recon and see what the security is like, what their operation is, physical security is like.
Yeah, maybe that's on the actual site itself, or like the people staying in the city. Because maybe that's the
Either.
first move is yeah, going
Yeah.
out to the site on bikes and just kind of scoping out what we see.
Both or either.
I like both.
I have a fallback idea, but
I love it.
I'd like to talk to Sabian about it before I bring it to the group.
No, I'm very interested.
All right.
So am
So
I.
in a classic split up, Jethro and Mad Fist go to get our hands on a couple of bikes with sidecars for the four of us. We'll have Deltana watching our space that we stay in town.
Yeah. So I think like Madfist, Jetro, just kind of, perhaps you can easily go and like from Casimus has told you where to go. Like if you're looking for work or what, or you're out prospecting, you'd rent these bikes. And they are absurdly wide tire bikes. They are 40K bikes.
Nice.
But they are motorcycles. So they are revving on that. Um, uh, so we'll come back to you two in a second. Greco, you turn to Sabian.
Yeah. So I was wondering, Sabian, this void ship being thousands of years old, what if it were haunted?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
We'd have to make it haunted.
Oh,
That's a thing.
So not actually haunted.
Correct.
Could be though.
Exactly.
No, I mean it could actually be
Okay.
if it's a void. I
You're
won't
right.
get into it.
There could
I
be
won't
echoes.
get into
There
it.
could be all kinds of stuff that I consider you the closest thing do we have to an expert. Yeah?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, and if anything's there, a little push here, a little tweak there. And so it's a lot less hospitable for any workers who might be on the fence.
Exactly.
It's a good thought.
Thanks.
One concern, or maybe two, would be Jethro and Mad Fist. Because they're
How
asking
so?
a lot of questions. Things that you just seem to implicitly understand and to know the limits of which knowledge should reach and should not reach beyond. It's not
I trust Mad
intuitive.
Fist, and I think Jethro is solid.
I don't know if that's in character or not. Whew.
I think Jethro's smart enough to know we're the best meal ticket he's ever going to get. And he can't run faster than any bullets that Mad Fist or I can throw his way.
Ow. I don't know if that's as reassuring as you intended it to be. But once you say things, they're out there. And
Yeah.
I'm afraid Madfist in particular might force me to say something that he regrets. I know he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's seen some things.
You want me to talk to him? And then you still have, I hate to say it,
You don't hate to say it.
plausible deniability?
Two for Rich. We're all lagging behind. I think he might respect it more coming from you.
Yeah. I'll take care of that.
In the meantime, hopefully those two get some good intel and we can start planning out a haunting.
I think that'll be almost fun.
So I think we cut to the side of Madfist and Jetro, like zooming over the dune line. You know, we've spent some time. This is all practical effects work. None of this is CG. The two of you in that, they've given you goggles and stuff to go against the dust and dirt. There are a lot of like they clearly use a lot of lasers and that kind of thing to burn out roads, and you're kind of catching those and then onto drifts and stuff. And I think then we'll see you come over this ridge, and we can see the plane of this spikes of stone coming out of the desert, and sand in places, and we will see this spot where there's a cutout, like I'm imagining that the crater from The Thing, how that's kind of all kind of cut out. I imagine it's a little bit like that, but we see a bigger cutout. There's industrial machinery there, and both excavators and loaders and haulers, and there are teams of people, sort of Indiana Jones style, looking down, working and hauling things away, and there are tents and space Quonset huts, and groups working around in there. It's very clear that while they're doing a lot of work around here, there's a main sort of very wide shaft that they're digging down towards, where this craft is apparently at below ground. So how do you two want to play this?
I see that Madfist has magnoculars, so he actually has some tech that he can use to look through. I don't have anything like that. So I imagine, we pull up and the first thing out of Jethro's mouth is like, I think Savion and Greco are really warming up to me. I think it's going to be a good, I think we're working out pretty good. I don't know. I just feel like it was a good ride. I don't think you have to give them so much guff about what they don't do. You can't see it. I'm winking. I'm wearing goggles. You can't see it, Madfist, but I'm winking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you look. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Madfist. You want to try and get some strategic info here? You are muted.
I do.
Okay.
And I do. And I do. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I think that we can do this with lore, probably. I think the mag goggles here will give you advantage on this roll. Is there anything else
Okay.
you bring into bear that you think would be appropriate?
I was looking over burglar. Skulker looks like it's for tailing people.
I mean, if you're gonna, this is just for like observing at a distance. If you want to go down on into the camp,
I'd like to get closer. Yes.
okay. So you have your cameline cloak, and
I
you
do.
have burglar and skulker.
Yes.
So you have advantage stealthing down there, and a +20 from the cloak.
Nice.
So let's have you roll. Essentially, Jetro, he's going to leave you up here by yourself.
Stay.
All right. If he tells me that I should stay, then I will stay.
Okay.
But I'll be ready to. I'll have like I'll be on the bike ready to gun it if something goes wrong.
Okay.
What am I rolling? I'm sorry.
So you are rolling stealth. You need with +20, so that's a 66.
Ooh,
and
like
you have
those
advantage.
odds. I like that. All right, here we go. D100. Boom. 51.
So that is a success level. So I think that it is getting a little bit twilight now. And you can, oh yeah, you can flip it to a 15. So like
I forgot that's how advantage works. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. Yes.
So that's 5 levels of success. Like that's an extreme success. So you will see like most of the like if there's security, it seems to be by that hole itself. Like the rest of the encampment where they're keeping resources, where they're keeping equipment, where the huts are and stuff, not covered at all. And there's probably about 50, 60 workers here. You will see a couple of the Leagues of Votann people there. They're up. They are in that armor that they kind of constantly wear.
Right.
And they are talking, and it seems like there are people being lowered down that are excavating. What is it you want to do? What is it you want to know?
My assumption is plan B, we're going to have to come in here ourselves. So I'm looking for easy ways to get in here being undetected, easy points that we can get out of. If most of the securities around that hole, I'm looking at, can we get to where the gear and resources are? Can we sabotage? Can we take those things?
Yeah.
Can we put bad
Yeah.
things in there?
I think you can map out the camp completely with that success. I
Nice.
think that if you end up being in a fight in this area, that you've scouted at the location, so you would have superiority. You would have a level of that if you got into a
Nice.
fight in this area. And you check, this is where this is where they're keeping this equipment, this is where they're keeping the supplies, all of that. I think you would definitely like have that entirely mapped out. Is there any question specifically you want answered before I cut back to Jethro?
Sure. Can of the Votann, can I see who might be in charge, who might be the senior most, who looks like they're
Oh, absolutely. You will see a guy there, and you will hear one of the other Votann come over and address him as Nyack.
Nyack? All right, I'm
Uh,
good.
he is in the character keeper. That sort of heavy armor. They are about 4 feet tall and built like a tank. You know that their armor is partially powered, not Space Marine style, but it is nasty stuff. And I think you'll see
Oh
some
yeah, there he
pieces
is.
of
Yeah,
tech.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jetra, you're there for a while because Madfist takes a while. Now, mind you, you have the Vox beads, so you can calm with each other. But like, what do you want to do?
Oh, that's a great question. I think he trusts Mad Fist to know what he's doing when it comes to skulking around, hiding out in the kind of wilds. So he's waiting for him to talk first on the Vox beats. He doesn't want us to put him in a bad spot.
Sure.
So I think from where I am, as best I can, I would like to.
You want to
I
make an
feel like,
awareness roll?
sure, I'll make an awareness roll. I was gonna say, I feel like anything I'd be doing, I'd just be kind of like generally scanning
Yeah.
the site. Again, not any better than what he's gonna come back with, but just keeping my eyes out. My awareness is 33, rolling on
Okay.
D100. I got a 6. Tell me all about it, lol. I cannot be stopped.
So I imagine that Mad Fist has probably handed you those mags, right? To keep an eye on him while he's down there because you need him. And I think we will see you. I think you'll see there's some stuff kind of by the hole that tells you that they may have actually gotten to the ship. Like there's some bits and pieces there that suggest that. But the other thing that you will see as you kind of scan around is you'll see at a pretty far distance, you see at a ridge line, there are some figures on bikes, and they are also watching this area. You can't tell who they are. They're covered up. but they are also clearly like have eyes on this place.
Let me ask you, looking at they're covered up, but their bikes, do they look pretty cobbled together?
Fuck yeah.
I get on the Vox just a little bit. Madfist, over there, Madfist. We're not alone out here. There's orcs. There's greenskins on the horizon. They're on bikes. They're watching the site now. You might get in and get out, buddy.
They're watching the site?
They're doing what we're doing. They're scouting it out. But they're orcs, man. As soon as they see something shiny, they're gonna come hauling ass. We don't want to be in there when that happens. Not without Greco and Sabion.
And that's what I'm saying. If I believe you, there's something out there watching. I don't know that it's orcs.
All right, man. Well, you get your ass back up here, and you can take the binoculars, and I'll show you them, and you can see for your own damn self.
I'm headed back now.
All right. Keep it quiet.
And just to make it dramatically perfect, Jedra, I think I am the binocs back up where they were, and they are gone.
Wait, is there like just
Perfect.
dust trail maybe?
Yeah, the little
Yeah,
dust
yeah,
hanging
yeah.
in the air there. Hopefully they didn't see you.
Oh, fuck.
For sure, and that's what I asked. Well, whatever it was, did they see you?
Get back. You know what? And I turn on the bike. I'm like, I'm gonna pick you up.
Yeah. Greco, Sabion, well, they scout the site out there. And what do the two of you want to do here in town?
I mean, I guess I don't know that there's haunted ship stuff we could do without that information in town. I mean, unless we start spreading rumors, which is one thing that's possible.
You know what's unusual is you're hearing this sudden tearing sound, and this is not a big spaceport, but you will see another ship descending, and like people are looking like this is clearly unusual. Like 2 ships in one day. Like there's only like 4 bays in the space dock. Like this is a 3rd ship, and you will see it coming down. I'm sorry, you were saying?
Hey, we should check that out.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
It's unusual that there would be 2 ships in one day.
I don't like it.
Can we tell what the ship looks like? Do you have any advance notice?
Gosh, let's have you make a lore roll with advantage because you got that.
Roll. Lore. It's either 32 or 23. But I don't know what my
23,
lore is.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you're looking at it, and you will recognize the symbols on it as it descends, and you will realize that it is a ship of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, the Psyker hunters.
Let's not go check that out. You can go check that out.
Well, perhaps.
Not it.
Greco?
I take it you're not on a good relation with those.
I'm not on
faction?
any relation with them.
Hmm.
And that is exactly the one that I want to keep.
All right. I respect that.
They get more ideas in their heads than Madfist and Jethro put together.
This definitely helps our Void Ship is Haunted plan. Why else would they show up?
Yeah, it's certainly the silver lining. Oh, also, why else would they show up? If it's not haunted and I'm not fully willing to say that it isn't until I've done my own research. They did just land here, so there is a reason.
Yeah. Now, we need to know if this faction is here because our rival Turban Koloff called them, or if they're here with their own agenda.
Are they at the beck and call of patrons? I thought they were their own sort of independent
He's a rogue trader. I
investigative.
don't imagine that to be the case.
Well, I guess there's always a possibility through back channels, but if we can find out what they're doing without being in the vicinity of them doing it, would be preferable.
We should go watch. See what we can figure out.
I bow to your wisdom.
Thanks.
Greco, Sabion, you kind of head over to the spaceport. I think there are various laborers who've kind of assembled up to see if people need unloading, like the people that are unloading the ship that you came in on. And so there's a crowd here, and of course the rogue trader ship takes up a lot of space. So there are more people at the spaceport and enough to kind of blend in. And you will see it's a fairly small ship. And like as you are arriving, the ramp is coming down, and you will see two figures come down. You will see a figure who is in the robes and mark on the forehead of the Adeptus Astris Telepathica, who clearly is a leader type, and following, kind of trailing behind them, is a six of a few inches tall woman with just pure white skin and this wild hair and mask that is strapped to their face, kind of following in a way that almost feels like they're on a leash, even though you're not seeing any. There are pictures of them in the Keeper.
Did you say 6 inches tall?
6 foot and some inches tall.
Oh, okay. I missed the sum, and I was like,
it's a borrower, like from Arietti.
Seems really cool with this surprising turn of events. That would actually be way more terrifying.
Yes. And they will come down and they start talking to the ministerium folks. And you can see that they're clearly asking some questions and things. The people are kind of standing around and beginning to realize that there's no job here, no loading or unloading to be done. What do you want to do, Greco?
First, a question. You said they're in, is H8AP the tall one, and then
Yep. And Lycone El Saladat is the Astra Telepathica.
I want to understand what kind of leash he has on her, because breaking that leash could be interesting.
Let's have you make a lore roll, I think, for this one.
Okay.
I think it's a little more challenging for you.
Challenging me, just straight up roll?
Yep.
27. My
So
lure is a
27.
mere
So that's
20.
0. You suspect, I mean, it's clearly a Psyker thing. And you suspect that like he's got, just judging, he's not a Psyker himself. So he must have some piece of equipment on him that is acting as that. Does that seem like a fair for a kind of a mid success, a mid fail there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely got some tech. And that Psyker is just kind of standing there, like you don't see their face, but you imagine it's a dazed look on their face. Sabian?
I mean, I'm also like, do I know more about this? Am I able to use mysterious powers? I don't really
this
have
is
any.
well, this would be a lore roll for you to know things about it.
All right, I'll go for that. No, it's not.
Okay. I think the one thing that
Oh wait, when do fate points replenish?
every session,
Let's do that again.
User.
That's even worse.
right?
So let's use them. This is just not going my way. All right.
Wait. We could have declared help, right? We could have. It's a little late, but just try to
Yeah,
refresh
in
myself.
future should definitely do that.
Yep. Okay.
Not that it would help with any of those roles.
Fair.
I think the thing that you will realize, Sabian, as you are sitting there, is that the guy who's leading that, the Adeptus guy, is Lycone, is what you call a blank, a psychic blank. They cannot use psychic powers themselves, but they are extremely resistant to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you'll pick up, because there is just a sucking void when you kind of look at them and try to understand what's going on there. Does that seem fair?
It makes a lot of sense given the repeated failures of like, there's just static out there. I got nothing.
Absolutely. And I think what you will pick up from these two, as they're talking to the like what do you call that, the person who manages the spaceport, that clearly they're here looking for someone or someones.
Oh no, we're someone's.
Anything else you want to do, Greco?
Is there a speakeasy, bar, cantina type thing? If so, we could go there and just listen around, just eavesdrop. That's about
Yeah.
all.
We can fall back. Essentially, there is going to be the spaceport, that is the bar that is closest by. They don't have much trade, but it's a central location. So you can make your way over to that watering hole, and sit down. And I think that you will pick up. Some people come back and they're talking about this Adepta Astra Telepathica stuff and so on. And then one of them, as you are sitting there, you hear them saying, one of them says they were asking about a guy named Van Grunt. I've never heard that name before. And they're like, that goes in passing. And
Quick
shall
yell
I,
out. I've also never heard of that name.
uh, shall we bring the two groups back together here? I think like at night has fallen. You come in. Jethro, Madfist, they check you at the gates before they let you on through. You roll into town. You've got the Vox beads with Greco and Sabian. So once you're in town, you can calm again. And I think we'll see the four of you meeting up at this bar. Rich, what is the name of this bar?
Trying to think of something like something Oasis. Oh, cute dog. No. Tattered Oasis.
Tattered Oasis?
Sure.
Tattered Oasis. I think it's mostly the kind of they've got like a place where you can sit out front with a kind of canvas over it, and it is torn to pieces from the desert winds. And they don't really fix it. But you come in, everything that you have touched here, that you have eaten here, that you have drunk here, has grit in it. We'll see the four of you in a dark corner of the bar. The Oasis as you go all meet back up again.
So we found out some interesting stuff, and it might accelerate our timetable a little bit, I think.
Yes.
There's greenskins on this planet.
There are no. You did not see any orcs out there.
You didn't see him, Madfist. I saw him. I saw the orcs. They were on the horizon. They were driving bikes. They were scoping out the site. They know that's out there too. Now we could use that to our advantage. Maybe we do something. Maybe the orcs. But I think if the orcs get in there, they're going to kill that rival. We don't want that to happen necessarily. I feel like we just need to get going. We can't. My first plan of delaying shifts and hustling guys, that might not work anymore. That's all. What, did you guys find anything out in town?
Kind of observing to see Greco's reaction to what Jethro's saying, because Madfist is so obviously like, no, you didn't. And knowing Jethro's stories, I'm gonna say 45% of everything Jethro has said has been bullshit. So yeah, how does Greco react to that?
Greco does. He knows that Jethro has survival instincts, and while it may not be orcs, it's some kind of threat.
Well,
We believe that.
The rival is not the only one that's in trouble, because there's some real nasty customers bandying about the name of Van Grunt around the cantinas.
Some Psyker
What kind of nasty
hunters.
customers? Psyker hunters. Why would they be hunting us?
Huggers.
And then I look dead-eyed. Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Huggers.
Huggers. Okay. Well, why are they looking after Van?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Wait. They're looking for Van Grunt here? He's not here.
No,
We
who
don't
could
even know
possibly
who
be
that
here
is.
that's tied to Van Grunt?
We don't have trackers on us we don't have any psychers in our group either, though. So I don't. That doesn't make any sense. Is Van Grunt a psyker?
Yeah. Must be some sort of mix-up.
Kind of give Greco a look and say, I'll get us some more drinks.
We got to keep this under control. Whether we got a psyker, there's no psyker, that doesn't matter. Right? We're paid to keep this quiet and subtle, which I'm leaning towards Jethro's urge to make this quick.
And I think as you're at the bar, Sabyan, you will hear somebody talking about the Psyker hunter. And there's speculation, and you'll hear them say, do you think he's here? I mean, did they send him? like, is he here because of the murders? And then there's a pause, and the guy's, I don't know, but like anybody that could do that. Maybe a psyker. Can a psyker rip somebody from the inside out? I don't know. Maybe that's what's here. Maybe that's what's been killing people in the city.
So we're not staying in the city, right?
That's where we are now.
And I think on that piece of additional lore hanging in the air, that's where we're going to stop for today. As we will take up next time, bikes on the horizon, Psyker hunters looking for Grand Grunt, horrific murders in the city, this weird excavation going on, Votann, and an aloof rogue trader agent. So that's where we're stopping.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind if we could do a quick stars and wishes to go through that. Jetro, you cool with starting?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to do both or just stars or wishes? Which one?
I usually do stars and then wishes at the same time.
Okay. So yeah, I can start absolutely. Wishes. I want to have a bike battle against orcs. I'm telling you, there's orcs. And I think just the thought of them being on bikes, us being on bikes, that sounds badass. Also, I want to see everything that has. I want to see the Psyker Hunter. That goes into my star, I guess, which is all of these tidbits you're laying out for these things that are about to happen. So exciting! So huge stars to that. Also, I love random event tables. I can't help myself. I'm sick. I know that. So I loved having those and getting to do the downtime stuff being built into games. I appreciate that. This game has a lot of fiddly bits. I like that you're pulling all of them into the game. I'm having a blast. So big stars for that.
Awesome. Greco.
Stars to starting with downtime, stars to the 2 downtime moves so that we could feel like we're in Force in the Dark. That was funny. I appreciate the scenes on the ship. That kind of stuff's really cool because it's non-mechanical downtime. Really enjoyed Madfist Jethro's stuff and Sapion's funny. Really dig the relationship on the crew. I wish we could find a way for Sapion's powers to be revealed to Jethro and Madfist without it causing too much haywire. That's a wish I have.
Okay.
I don't love Rich keeping secrets, but you know. Yeah,
I just want to be clear on that point. In our last session, we saw you use powers, but they weren't visually overt, right? That was the understanding. So we're just like, all right, you're doing something. Okay, just making sure that that was the case.
I think Jetro's suspicious, Madfish is suspicious.
But as we know, there's plausible deniability. But I feel like something weird is obviously up, right?
Yeah. I'm like, my wish is for it to be revealed in a cool way. I think that would be interesting and fun.
Okay.
And a star to, like, I don't love the go do whatever you want mission, but I like that. And also, here are some very obvious pressures that are going to keep you from getting lost by just causing chaos that won't be your fault. So maybe you end up doing the thing you're supposed to. So I appreciated that.
Awesome. Plus, I get orc references in. So that was a goal there. Sabian.
Echoing the very charged situation. I feel like that there's a lot of possibility with that, and that's exciting. And I feel like I've been saying it every time, but it is a little more true every time that I'm really enjoying the crew relationships and the dynamics that are forming, and not really like the teams, but just like the way that certain people act differently around other people. Feels very realistic and organic. And so that's fun layer to have on top of the like, oh my God, what are we going to do about this chaotic situation? There's also like, they feel like real people that are dealing with things. I don't know about wishes. I mean, I just want to see stuff happen. And I will say to one of Rich's that I am also thinking about, like, yeah, what's going to happen? What's the big, oh, there's no coming back from that one. Like, everybody knows. And when you were saying about keeping a secret, I wasn't sure what part. Like, are you being put in a position that you are not enjoying, or
I'm not enjoying. It's just secrets at the table are always so sticky. Like this crew, I feel okay, but generally secrets at the table always make me just a little twitchy and nervous. And if I'm the one holding the secret, I don't want anybody to have hurt feelings. So it's just kind of my default reflex. But Cody and Mad J are amazing and can totally handle it. It's just kind of twitch reflex thing, I guess.
Yeah. Because I think no, I get where you're at. With the wrong table, you get some weird dynamics. I think good tables, we kind of play into your character knowing that thing, and we don't. We're not going after it. In fact, we're trying to make sure you never give it to us, but also creating some tension there, which is fun, right? But some other weird. Yeah.
But I do agree that being a nice reveal next time would be a good payoff for the setup there. Manfist.
Yeah, I think stars for sure to the non-mechanical scenes. I think I'm with Keith that we get to see some different dynamics between all of the characters that are really, really nice and organic. And I like that. I dig that. I also like I am a fan, and this is kind of different. I like the open mission, but it's open, but we've got some hard goals, right? And so it's not get crazy, right? We've got some parameters, that's the word. And so I kind of like that, in that we've got to figure out how to achieve those goals in those parameters. And again, I think you got to have the right table to make that work. Otherwise, you got players at odds because they've got different ideas or whatever. So, but I like when that works. So a start of that, because I feel like that's working. I only got one wish. Now that there's Votann on the ground, I don't care what side they're on. I got to see them in action.
Okay.
I got to see them do Votann stuff in their Votann suits.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am trying to bring everything I like about 40K onto the stage at least once here, and certainly Orks and Votann and stuff are on there. Awesome. I am going to stop the recording.